Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today we're going to be talking about the crackdown on the English teachers in Nanning, China. Well, really not the English teachers, the people that teach illegally in Nanning. They brought in a law here on December the 10th that says that any kindergarten or English training business has to post in a conspicuous place in the front of their business the pictures of all foreign teachers, along with their work permit numbers, the subjects that they teach, personal information. Why are they doing this? Wow. Places like Nanning, well, Nanning just changed from a tier 3 to a tier 2 city. So it was the Wild West of illegal teaching up until that happened. I'm not sure if they implemented it in tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 cities as of yet, but this crackdown came to the tier 1 and tier 2 cities a long time ago, where the idea of coming in and teaching English just with a TESOL certificate, teaching English as a second language doesn't cut it anymore. Before, all you needed was that certificate, a native English background, and usually a white face. I've seen a number of teachers here that come from different countries, and not everybody's white anymore. They've got Filipinos in China, in Nanning, teaching English now too. So because of this new law, the immigration cops, the Chinese immigration cops, can walk in to these businesses or kindergartens, look at the wall and look at the foreigners that are teaching there, and if you're not on the wall, you're not supposed to be there. Exactly. Makes it easier to discern who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there. I drove by. I was going to do this in front of an Outlook English training center, but as I drove by it, it's no longer there. What used to happen in cities like Nanning, and I've known a lot of foreigners that come to places like Nanning and teach, because people offer them jobs, and they say, but I don't have a work permit. And they say, well, we don't care, come and teach. So they do, and they make some money, and they're on a temporary resident permit, in other words a visitor permit, and it's highly illegal. They're not supposed to be doing that. You get a lot of students that come from different countries and go to university here in Nanning, and to supplement their income, they work as English teachers in these English training companies. Okay, well, what's that going to do now? You get caught teaching English, working without a work permit. Okay, and you're in your second year of whatever course you're taking for your course at Nanning Guangxi University. What's a chance that they're going to renew your student permit when it comes up next time? Exactly, zero. So not only have you screwed yourself out of the last couple of years of your education here in China, you're levied with a big fine, and chances are you'll be blacklisted from any visa coming into China in the future for a couple bucks. Is it worth it? I don't think so. To teach in China, to teach legally in China, you have to have at least a bachelor's degree. Some type of teaching degree would be preferable. And I get that all the time. You know, a TESOL course behind you, teaching English as a second language, is pretty well mandatory at any high school or middle school here in China. And you see, they don't have to post the pictures and the information on the foreign teachers at middle school and high school, colleges, universities. Why? All of these schools are operated by the government. Exactly. So if you're not supposed to be there, you're not going to be there. And that's just the way it is. You might notice that I'm wearing more than a white t-shirt today. It is 13 degrees Celsius in Nanning today. And that, you see, that's a cold day. And when you're used to 30 degrees above, and it's wet here, it's like 90% humidity and 13 degrees. So it feels really cold. And you see people around with parkas on and toques and gloves and stuff, and it's 13 degrees Celsius. I'm not quite that big of a wimp, but riding the e-bike, she gets cold, I'm telling you. So I've got a hoodie on, or in Saskatchewan we call them bunny hugs instead of hoodies. If you ever hear somebody saying, go get my bunny hug, you know they're a Saskatchewan born and raised person, just for the fact that that's, I think, the only place in the world that hoodies are called bunny hugs. Anyway, back to the story. After the government set these rules that they had to post the foreigners' pictures and all their information in a conspicuous place, yes, that word conspicuous sort of stood out in the legislation. A news agency from Nanning went around to 16 different training companies and kindergartens. And what they found is they found that 2 out of the 16 were posting things properly. They'd gone into, and they named, I think, 4 or 5 different training companies. And they'd go in, and before they knew who they were, they'd say, oh, do you have foreign teachers? Yes, we have foreign teachers. They're over there. Look at them. And then they would try to interview them and say, this is why we're here, because of this new law. And then, oh, they're really not they don't really work here. Oh, I'm just new here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Then you got this from all of these different, you know, like 14 out of the 16. There was one that they mentioned to Mr. Liang, the manager of a training company on Minzu Street, and he explained to them that yes, they had all of this stuff that was asked for in a conspicuous place on the wall. He said because for the parents to trust our training institute, we need to follow the law. We need to make sure that our teachers have the right credentials. We need to make sure that that the students are being taught by people with the right background, education. See, there are companies in China that follow all of the rules because it's the best way to do it, and it gives them they're a more professional company than a lot of the other ones. Sure, the other ones, maybe they do a good job. Maybe they got lucky and got some good students that really know how to teach or whatever. But without the right credentials, you sort of lose some of that trust from the not only the students that are coming to learn English there, but the parents that are paying for it. Last week, the Nanning Immigration Police attended a kindergarten here in Nanning. Kindergartens are not like a regular school. They're privately run, and they teach little tykes English and among other things. So they went there, and they had 5 foreign teachers working at that kindergarten. And so they started checking their credentials, and they said, oh no, the credentials are good, the credentials are good. After checking it, the immigration police found out that all but one of them were on a visitor visa. Yeah, and the other one was on a work permit, but the work permit wasn't made for the scope of teaching English in a kindergarten. So all 5 of these foreign teachers were teaching illegally, and that's the first place that they've checked in Nanning after this law came in, that it makes it easier for them to check for illegal workers. Yeah, So that's not a very good start to the thing. It's always been illegal to teach in English in China without a work permit. But it was basically overlooked for many years. It's, as I say, it was a wild west of English teachers here in Guangxi province for sure, because nobody really cared. You weren't really taking a job away from a Chinese person because they don't speak English. The want for their children to learn English was there, so I guess it was just overlooked. Sort of like a lot of things are overlooked here in China, but those days are over. That's not the way that they deal with it anymore. If you're not supposed to be here teaching, you won't. In that kindergarten, all 5 of the foreigners got fined, and the school got fined big time. They wouldn't divulge how much each one was fined, but they said it was a substantial amount. Good thing, eh? So the idea that they will fine you, they will fine the business, chances are when that business goes for a business license next time, no. If they apply for work permits for foreigners because they've been caught doing something illegal, no. Will those foreigners be granted another visitor visa to China? No. You know, so they basically pooched their chance of spending time in China by breaking the law knowingly, and that's what these laws are all about. That's another video from Gweilo 60. As always, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell and check your subscribe button. Don't forget to put a couple bucks on our Helping Hands Children Foundation. We're over 40% complete on our project as far as dollars coming in. We're at just over $800 per month. We're shooting for 2,000, and thanks everybody for pledging cash on this project. It's I think it's actually going to work. Thanks for watching. Bye now. So here's something that you don't see every day in the West or in the East. Look at this, guys. It's a payphone. A Chinese payphone. It's even got languages, so like it's got more than one language. I would imagine Chinese and English. But it's run by a credit card. You can tell that it hasn't been used for a while. Look how dirty it is. Why?